Good morning, Baman.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine. Nice to see you here.
Thank you. Congratulations on achieving yet another DTM.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, baby. Are you outside or really that's the screenshot or background?
Well, it's a picture.
Yeah. I'm outside walking.
Oh, very good. Very good.
I had another event. That's why I try to come on and Maggie, she said she has a choir. And I said, I better not to cancel the meeting because we just had twice a month. So maybe today we just have a short meeting and would like to hear your travel tip. Today, Marty is a Toastmaster.
Oh.
And Barman is a speaker. And Jeff, he is moving from his storage to his apartment, so he cannot attend. I plan to assign him for the Toastmaster, but tabletop masters, but he cannot. So after maybe we hear your speech, then we can have a short meeting and I go back to my meeting. It's okay for everybody?
So we are only three of us?
Yeah, Marty is our new person. No,
I know, but I mean right now we are three. That's only three are attending the meeting?
Yes, I guess. If nobody coming.
So
right now,
what you think about it? You want to cancel the meeting? You want to?
No, I want to hear your speech. I always say that. I say about to cancel.
Travel.
That's fine. You just practice then, or you just say something you're thinking of. Let's begin up. How about it? Marty, you want to begin the meeting?
Sure.
Thank you.
Well, good morning and welcome to Amazing Champions Toastmasters. I understand from our fearless leader that we'll have a brief meeting today, but it will be a good meeting because it's been a long time since I've heard a speech from Baman. And I know the last time that I heard him speak, I was impressed. And so I anticipate that will happen again today. And since you're talking about traveling, I imagine I will also learn something. Today's theme is about the fall equinox or the autumnal equinox, and it happened a couple of days ago. It actually begins the year and it's the shortest day of the year, at least in theory. And as time progresses, the days get darker and darker and darker until we get to spring, and then we have our longest day. But the reason that I thought that would be a good theme is that each of us have targets in our life. We have things that we are working towards, and there are intermediary opportunities for us to assess how we are doing. And I would like everyone to have today be that opportunity. Think about the projects that you're working on, the really hard tasks that are in front of you, the challenges that you're experiencing, and don't only look at what's not done. Try to remember that you've gotten to the point where you are because you're hardworking and tenacious, and celebrate your victories in addition to looking forward to what else needs to be done. So as you consider that the year and the seasons continue for a reason, look at your challenges and your life's projects that way. There are good things that happen that we need to pay attention to because they strengthen us for the harder work that is ahead. Now, I don't have Baman's speech information, but I'm simply going to introduce Baman as Baman Devani, and I know he will regale us with an awesome speech. Baman, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. May I share my screen? Yes, I guess I could share it, right? Do you see that?
We
First
see
of all,
your screen.
thank you very much. This is not really a speech. This is because I was out about 3 months and about 1.5 months. That was part of the medical issue of one of my family. And after that, I got chances to visit places and friends and families. And I got a lot of good stories and beautiful sceneries. And they asked me to share this in this meeting. So I'm going to do that. So it's not a speech, it's a summary of places that I have gone and things that I have seen. First of all, I love traveling. I love traveling, not just by airlines from city A to city B and go to a nice and fancy hotel and restaurant. I love to drive, go through the middle of the towns, places that the local people are living and eating and eat their food and so on. So this is me. And at the beginning, I'm going to have a disclaimer. Please do not do these because it's hazard to your health. But anyhow, first, let me summarize what I have done. I put a title. I had difficulty to come with a good title. I was out about 40 days around 10 different countries, and it covers Europe, Africa, and Asia. Basically, in Europe, this is the pictures of the Germany. I don't know if you see, let me make it larger. Do you see that? The yellow one is Germany, and Europe is so small compared to the America that in 4 hours you can visit 4 different countries easily. And as far as the cost, with train and bus, it may cost you anything from $30 to $50 if you don't want to have an airplane and so on. So in this case, in summary, I have visited Germany, Netherlands, Denmark, and also Switzerland and Austria. Just to give you the other ideas, after Austria is Slovenia and Croatia. And then I went to Turkey, Azerbaijan, and Georgia. And one of the other countries in Africa was Morocco. As I said, I had a backpack in my bag, and I didn't plan for the hotels. I didn't plan for these nice areas and so on. I said, let's go because I have a time. Let's see what happened. One thing that has happened in Germany because of the Ukraine war, all Europe, not just Germany, the price of the gas went up like crazy. Like each gallon is about, I can say, one is $9 each gallon. So that's the reason a lot of people, they were complaining, they had demonstrations and all against the government that what they did is $9 to $10 for gallon is too much. And in order to make them quiet, the government came and said, okay, in order to promote people to use the public transportation that is mainly train and buses, and by the way, those are the best in Europe. You don't have to have really a car because even if you have a car, you don't have a place to park. It costs you a lot to park the car in the city. And trains, buses, and metros are all great. They came with this plan that you buy a ticket, €9. By the way, I'm going to do euros versus dollars. It's exactly the same these days, so no problem. So if you hear me, euros and dollars is the same as dollar. With that, you can take a train or bus or metro from anywhere to anywhere as many as times you want in 1 month with €9. So I was free. I traveled all over the Germany, from Bonn, Cologne, Düsseldorf, Bern, and went all the way to Bremen and Hamburg and Berlin and then come to Zurich. And all the cities in between, beautiful cities in all the distance, beautiful. So I took the train, I go, come back, I go, come back, or I go and continue going back. One thing about it, because it was free, it was crowded. It means when I take the trip from here to, for example, Hamburg, is about 6-7 hours, but these are the slow trains. It's not the fast, high-speed trains. So probably it takes about 8 to 9 hours. But in some areas, because it was too crowded, all people were jammed, I had to stand up like 3 to 4 hours. So that's the reason I don't recommend that you guys, especially women, family with kids, they go, because I had a backpack, stayed there for 3-4 hours just because it was free, because I paid only one time €9 or $9. It was free. I had the time. I didn't have any other obligation. I didn't have deadline to go there by such a time, and so on. In Europe, the hotels are very expensive. So what I'm saying is about minimum 150, 200, 250 if you want to go to a good hotel. So because I was single, backpack, like students, I went to, it's called hostel. Hostel, it means a place like a dormitory, or the place that they have 6 to 8 beds in one room, share beds they call it. And usually students, they go because they don't have that money to pay for the hotel. But since I was going to travel all these days, I could not afford every day $100, $200. So I took this and I went to hostel. One of the things about hostel is shared bedrooms. Some of them, they didn't have even the bathroom in the room. You have to go outside in the hall, the shared bathrooms and toilet and so on. But it was cheap. I love traveling because I like to go to cities and see the real people, local people, and eat. So that was one of the things I did in Germany. I can say it's about 20 some days, 20 days in Germany, all cities, all places, and stayed very cheap. The tickets for the train was $9. One time $9 for the whole month. And if you see here, is I went all the way to the border, and then from there I said Denmark. I said, oh, why not? This one I go to Denmark, to Copenhagen. So that was the most expensive one. I paid $53 by train to go from here to Denmark. If you want to go yourself right now and you make a plan and go from any cities to any cities, by the way, that a special deal was ended last August, the last day of the August, and I was using the last day of the August too. So if you want to use that one, a small town from another small town, minimum from this distance from Bonn to Cologne probably is $25. So I was doing it, go back every day, go from here to there, go to there from here. Probably is about $1,000. I travel with $9. This is the part of the Europe. Then I went to Austria, Slovenia, and Croatia. And these are all part of the Schengen, except the Croatia. It means if you have a visa from one of these countries that I was talking about, if you have a visa from Germany, you can travel to all these countries without having extra visa, because they have contract, they have agreement that they're all connected, no problem. So from Germany, you can go to all Spain, Portugal, Morocco, Austria, Slovenia, Czechoslovakia, Bratislava, and all Italy, all those with no extra visa. So one time if you have a visa, you can go. And the other one, this is the Asia or Europe. I mean, Turkey is a country that half of them is in Europe, the other half is in Asia. So I went to Turkey, and then another one I took a plane go to Azerbaijan and Georgia. One other things about in Europe, here if you want to travel or take a tour, next day go to somewhere, it costs you arms and legs. It costs you a lot of money because you have to make reservation 3 weeks, 1 month in advance to have a good deal. In Europe, it's like that too. However, they have a special package that if you go to the airport, they said last minute deal. You go and say, okay, do you have any last minute? They said, oh, we have a tour that is coming, is going to Turkey, is going to this guy, 5 days hotel and with airplane, with all you can eat, is about half price. Because they already made all these tours, they have a few places left. They said, why not? So that was another deal that I got. The last minute tour that I went to these countries about half price, because as I said, I didn't have any plan to go exactly that day and come back exactly another day. Any day you tell me, just give me half price, I go. So that has happened. This is in Morocco, and I got another deal like that. That's in Africa. In general, I had great times, great experiences. Some of them are great. Some of them, a few of them are not that good, but I can share with you if you have time. But mainly Europe, all Europe, if you go, they have beautiful places, river, green area, and then most of them, they have a river that you can go and next to the river and have all of them. If they find a place, they just go have a drink. Even if you have a space for a table with 4 people, they put a table for 4 people and they serve beer and drinks and some of them coffee or something like that. So really they're outdoor people. They are not like here that we go just to the mall. There is not that much places, at least in our area, that we walk. We have one place here, shops at Legacy, but this is one place. But over there, everything is outside. Everything is outdoor, and everybody is enjoying it, just relaxing, view the river, trees, and so on. So I have a lot of pictures like that, a lot of good memories like that. And at this time, if you have any specific questions, let me answer those. Otherwise, I share with you a couple of pictures. I try not to have my own picture because you get tired, but still I do have some of them that I didn't have any view of outside without me. So you have to you have to bear with me as far as that. Any question on that so far, as far as the trip? The cost?
Yes.
Yes,
What's the
go ahead.
temperature there? What's the
Oh.
temperature?
The temperature here, it was hot. And the other thing is, for example, I don't know about California, but here we are used to with 33 degrees or so is normal. I mean, the reason is because we are accustomed to that and we have air conditioning. But in Europe, they don't have air conditioning. So if you are 30 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees centigrade, I'm talking about 30 centigrade, is about 80 some degrees, then they don't feel comfortable. They cannot sleep at night because there is no air conditioning in the houses, and except new cars, even the old cars, they don't have air conditioning. But it's something that they were suffering a lot. They were suffering a lot because of the heat, because of they didn't have air conditioning. As a matter of fact, these are the Europe. Then when I went to Africa, I can share you this picture right now. Let me see. It was 120 degrees heat. And I was, but they say you're crazy. I said, yeah, but this red is really because I burned. It's not because of the color or something like that. Sweating like crazy. And I have some other pictures while I was taking pictures. All the sweat was dropping and dripping from my face. In Germany, it was not like that, but it was hot. It felt very hot. It felt very hot because they didn't have air conditioning at home. The same thing in other places. So whenever I have gone, especially for those hostels, they didn't have air conditioners. So really, I couldn't sleep. As a matter of fact, I remember in Morocco, one night I had to come out in the alley, stay there about 4 o'clock because I couldn't sleep. That was in Morocco. But we are talking about other cities. They were hot, however, not as far as degrees like 90, 100. But since they didn't have air conditioning, it was suffering.
So
Okay.
what's the travel you focus on? Like you just sightseeing or you go to the museum? What you travel?
Okay. Basically, I like to travel and see the architecture, cities, streets, people, rivers, mountain, and so on. And I do have some pictures to share with you if you want. I can make it as a slideshow. I don't know if you hear my voice in this one. This is the dome, is a church in Cologne, Germany. That's the tallest dome or church in the world. And as a matter of fact, in the war that happened like 1944, 1945, that ended, everything around this one was level to the street. It means everything was bombarded, except this one. And there are stories. Do you know why? Because from far out there, they could see this one as a point that this is the Cologne and this is the area that they want. So that was one of their target places. Still, there are some areas, the big holes like that. There is a tank they attack, but the whole building is touched as far as falling down.
Which country you like the most?
All of them are great. Europe is green. Europe is green, green, mountain, green, river, and so on. Beautiful scenery, beautiful. Morocco is, I like Morocco because of old town. They call it Old Medina. All the streets in the old city, not the new one, they have like a 4 or 5 feet width. I mean, 4 feet or 5 feet width. It means you have to go like this, and then it's like a maze. For example, I went to one of these hotels, cheap hotels that I found. It took me like 20 minutes that somebody came and guided me, go through this alley, go through that alley, go through this alley. And when I walked back and tried to see the areas, it took me 45 minutes. I lost. I couldn't find the place because there is no street, there is no sign, there is no light. It's an old, like 1,000 years old cities. And these are something that I cannot see here in America. So it's something different. That's the reason I like. This is the Point of Charlie from Berlin, West Berlin, and East Berlin. If you remember, we had East Berlin and West Berlin that the wall dropped or they took it down in 1989. And this was a checkpoint for that. There are many stories. I have many other pictures from the previous report and books that how people, they want to go from West Germany, East Germany to West Germany. And they use a lot of different techniques. Some of the techniques, because as a matter of fact, I was there in 1985 before the wall falls. Before the wall falls, it means there was a East Berlin country and there was a West Germany, East Germany and West Germany. And people, there was a wall, and the difference between this wall and the houses here, that was a alley, is about 5 feet distance. And there were, after the wall, there was another alley for the other countries. And people, I've seen the pictures, in order to go to West Germany, to the West Berlin, I saw the pictures that people, they come and take their babies, throw them out of the window that goes from this side to the other side to become Western. There are other pictures that I have seen, so much crazy, but this is now the wall is gone, and there are one countries, they have kept this one as a memory, no problem. In that the same area, this is the picture. They kept part of the wall for memory and also reminding people that this was part, and there are a lot of pictures they put in that section of the wall. And this is one picture I got, this version of from Russia and the president, or what you call it, Sadr Azam of the Germany. In that case, they are kissing each other. So it's very interesting. The place that I like, you don't see that much here, but I stayed one extra days to go to this place. And this place is Eagle Nest. Eagle Nest, let me see, I have other pictures of Eagle Nest. Anybody knows about Eagle Nest? What is Eagle Nest? It's a place that Hitler had on top of the mountain. Let me see, where is the picture? I had it. Is the road is top of the mountain here. I don't think that you can see right now, but I had a picture that shows. Okay, here is about the mountain. I have the arrow here. You cannot see it. There is a small dot here, but if you go all the way on top of the cloud, Hitler had made a building, they made a building for him to have meetings, and all the big decisions are made over there. And his house is around the area also. It's beautiful area, very nice area. As a matter of fact, the road is so beautiful and also dangerous because there is only one car with the width of one car they can go. That's the reason not everybody, they don't regular car they go. They have a special car that you go all the way to one part of the mountain. Then from there you have to take a special bus to take you to this place. And that's beautiful because the roads are so narrow that one side is a deep cliff. It means if you move a little bit, you fall down completely, you are dead. And the other one is part of the mountain. So it's beautiful scenery, very nice. And they have kept it as something for visitors to visit. This is the place for the visitors. This is beautiful night as the Belize in Georgia. Very nice. And this is another part of Belize in Georgia. And this is part of the mountain that I walked with. They took us with the tour on top of the mountain. It's about 150 kilometers from the city. And this is one of the oldest city in the world, of course, is about 2,900. And if you see those caves, those are the caves or the houses that people, they used to live on. Then from there, this is different. This is Austria. And I can show you as part of the slideshow to go through that. But with some of them, let me give you this one. Anybody knows or can guess why I took this picture? This picture is in Turkey.
What about so special?
Yeah, I mean, can you guess what's going on?
Are those taxis trying to navigate?
Yeah, these are taxis. The yellow one is taxis, and this is in the middle of a street, and this is the taxi driver.
Is that someone trying to merge into traffic? There are no street lights.
Yeah, the thing is, I was going to go from one point to another point, and I was not speaking Turkish, and they were not speaking Farsi or English. So I found a friend, and he went and said, this guy, me, I want to go to this place in Turkey. And the guys, by the way, the taxis are very cheap in all other countries except Germany, Europe, and so on. Very, very cheap compared to here. For example, you can go in Azerbaijan with 45 miles in Azerbaijan cost real one. If you take the taxi and they use the kilometer, any idea how much it costs? $1. The same thing in Turkey, but however, when you come from airport and they know you need to go somewhere and you're a tourist, that become like $45 or $30. But if you go back from the same place to hotel, it costs you about $1 or $2. Here, I was going to go to my hotel because I went to a nice place in Turkey, like area, and the guy came. I said, okay, I'll find you a taxi to go there. I said, I want to go with metro. I said, no, I come with me. I take you with taxi. It costs you like $3 from here to there. I said, oh, okay, $3, no problem. Because with metro, I could go with 30 cents. He went and talked to one driver and said, no, it's too busy now. The traffic is too much. I'm not going to that area. He talked to this guy. He says, okay, I take you but $3. Usually, if you go with kilometer, probably it's $1 or $2 or something like that. I said, okay. I got in. We drove. After about 10 minutes, we got in a very, very heavy traffic. Very traffic. He couldn't move. He yelled at me, shouted at me, "See!" I didn't know what he's saying, and I didn't know what. I don't know. He was complaining that he got into the traffic and he cannot move. Then a few minutes later, he said, get out, get out, get out. He pushed me to get out. I said, what? I was saying in English, but he didn't understand. He was saying in Turkey, I didn't understand. And I said the kilometer was about $1 at that time. I said, so, okay, you don't want to go. I said, $3, $4. I said, oh, the kilometer is $1. What do you mean? He said, he pushed me and so on. I said, okay. I gave him the $5 and I took the picture because they have a sign in front of the window that if you have complaint, call this number. I took my camera and took the picture. And I came outside and while he was going to go there, I took a picture of the license plate. At that time, while I was doing the picture, he came out, this guy, and came out and said, what are you doing? Stuff on my said, what? Everybody came and said, what's going on? What's going on? Nobody spoke English. I didn't speak Turkish. I didn't know, and I didn't have the number to call the police, okay? So I went back, but I took this picture. I went to my hotel and talked to the guy. I said, this guy did like that. I said, listen, forget it. Here is Turkey. Everybody does crazy thing. Even if you complain, the police comes and talk to you, and it takes about 2 weeks, and you are not here 2 weeks. I said, no, I'm not. I'm living in 2-3 days. He said, okay, then you have to be here, a witness, and so on. At the end, he said, sorry. So let it go. So this is one story that I'm sharing with you right now. Not good experience. This is another. Do you see this car? I have several pictures of it. It's all damaged, accident, and so on. I was in Azerbaijan. I got there about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I had to send me the direction to go to the hotel, and they said it costs $15. So I came to the front desk in the hotel. I said, I want a taxi, and they say it's $25. I said, why $25? And is everybody said maximum $15. He says, no, our driver wants $25. I said, let me go to the street. I found the taxi because that was inside the airport. Yeah. So while I was going out, an old guy, probably 70, 80 years old, limping like that, and came to me. He said, I take you. I mean, say something that it takes me $15. I said, okay. I walk with him, but usually when you take a taxi, taxi is in front of the curb at the airport. He walked me, he walked me, he walked with me. We went to this street, that street, and then in a parking lot, I said, what is going on? It's a taxi that you have to walk this much with my luggage. And while we were walking, a lot of people clap for him that he find the customers. I went there and there was a policeman in the parking. I said, what, is it a taxi? And he said, yeah, he's a good driver. He's a nice guy. So I sat in this car. It wasn't not a taxi. It's some old car that probably is I can say like 40, 50 years old car. They don't have the signal to left. They didn't have signal to right. And she wave hand and so on. The guy was driving so slowly in the highway that a lot of people, they hung. Then after that, he was driving in the middle of the line, and I noticed that he was sleeping. He was napping like that. I said, my gosh, are you awake? He said, anyhow, he charged me $15. But by the way, when I went back to take the plane 5 days later, my hotel called a taxi for me, the real taxi. And it cost me only $1. But this guy charged me $15 because I was new, I was tourist, and they know they don't go by kilometers, they go by flat rate, 15, 20. And for some reason, I was alive anyhow because he was driving high, he was driving sleepy, and he was driving with this car in the middle of the lines, 2 lines, and a speed of 30 kilometers in the highway and so on. So these are some of the experiences I had. This one in Turkey, there are a lot of, whenever you find a place, there is an alley that they had like 20 different restaurants connected to each other. This side, 20 different each side. And for each table, a group of singers and musicians, they come sing and play music, beautiful songs from Turkey and so on. This picture is from Baku, Azerbaijan. The reason I took it because this water is Caspian Sea and it belonged to Iran about 115 years ago. The whole country belonged to Iran. So this is the city that we have in North Iran, and people, they go and swim. So as a memory, I took that picture. And I showed you this picture that while I was sweating. And this one is in Morocco. This is the factory that make leather. And I don't know if you see that much here. Maybe I should have. I make it a slideshow to see if you want. And these are the way that they make leathers. And the leathers are saying very good. And this is in the middle of the square every day, not just weekend or weeknights. And thousands of people, they come and perform. And there are a lot of food court over there. They serve food, play music, show, anything from coloring the nails or tattoo to playing music and dancing and so on. That's in basically Morocco. These are a few. I have about 3,000 pictures, of course, with the limit of 10 minutes or so, or maybe I cannot share that with you. Just a sample of some of the pictures that I had. Let me see. Yeah, these are selected pictures from there. Any questions? Oh, this one is in Azerbaijan. If you see, there is a white strip here. I don't know if you see that. I put the arrow here. And that's the wall between Azerbaijan and the other countries that they had. And that's the longest wall in Europe and Asia. This is the third largest one in the whole world. The longest one is the China, Wall of China. And the second one, I think, is somewhere, I think, I'm not sure, in India, but this is the third wall over there. And these are some pictures in Belgrade, beautiful. This is in a place, the Congress or so in Austria. And this is in Austria, the pictures. I don't know if I make it a slideshow, probably you can see if you are willing to see that I make it and you can see. Any question while I was doing that?
You can make 2 speech.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Eddie, you have to stop asking questions and give us someone else a chance. You have many speeches here, but I wonder, Baman, did you make any connections that you will stay in touch with? Did you meet any
Yes.
families or people or travelers that were doing the same thing that you were doing?
Yes. As a matter of fact, in Azerbaijan, people were so friendly, so nice. If you ask this Azerbaijan here, if you ask a question, for example, the address, I asked, where is this place? And the guy came and walked with me 45 minutes to show me the place. I said, no, I don't mean. I said, okay. I gave him a couple of dollars. He said, no, this is against our belief. No. Different countries, different peoples, they have different attitudes. In Turkey, they trick you to get $1 extra. They lie to you. But here, they were so friendly. The guy got friend with me. He called his friend. They brought the car. They take me to the top of the mountain that no buses go. I mean, no taxi goes. Beautiful area. And he got connection and he got number from me. And he said, you need to come here next year. I'm waiting for you to come here in March. I said, okay, still we are in contact. When I was in Georgia, I found one person from Pakistan came and got, oh, I love the way that you talk to the question, and I want to continue talking to you, keep contact and so on. He's sending me email, he's sending me text and WhatsApp. Through the WhatsApp we talk, even up to yesterday. We are in contact with each other. So except my family and relatives, that is different. The strangers here, we have talked. Some of the people, I don't want to say good or bad thing. People from Azerbaijan, they're very, very, very friendly. I can put 100. I cannot find those people anymore in the world because this used to be us also long time ago, 40, 50 years ago. But these days, everybody, because of they need more money, they need this, they lie and so on. The Georgia is the second one as far as being the good. Turkey, they trick you a lot. For example, as soon as you know that you are not Turkish, the price goes up. I went to get some kind of not cookies, but something sweet, like a bakery. I saw behind the window and the guy came and said, oh, are you Farsi, Persian? I said, yes, we talked. He said, oh, I speak this language, that language. I said, okay, how much is this one? I said, per pound is 250 lira. Okay, it's about $10, something like that. $13, $15. I said, okay, I want half kilo. He went and talked to the lady, give me half kilo. She cut it and she says, 520 lira. I said, huh? 1 kilo was 250. Half kilo is 520. He says, no. I said, yeah, your salesman says that. I said, no. He doesn't know. It's 520. I said, forget it. Then when I came back, he said, oh, okay, come back, see how much you want to pay. I said, it's not negotiation. It's the big fancy bakery store, okay? But as soon as they know you're Iranian or you are not Turkish, the price goes up. I went to buy banana because I was hungry in the street. I was in the middle of nowhere. I mean, local people, not the tourists. The tourists place is about 3-4 times higher. And I asked like this. It says 90 lira. I said, give me 3. I got 3 pounds, 3 bananas, 90. I said, thank you. As soon as I said, thank you, that was my mistake. He said, 220. I said, come on, 220. You just told me. So I said, no, I made mistake, 220. So this is one case. And then I went to another one, and the same thing happened on the next row. The same thing happened. As soon as they found that I'm not Turkish, in front of me, the price went up. And I went next one. I saw a poor boy sitting there. I said, give me 3. And how much? He says about 90. So I put there, and he asked that. I mean, I can't guess, but in Turkey, daddy, how much is that? And I didn't say anything. I didn't say thank you, okay, because otherwise the price would have gone up. So this is the place that you need to be careful, very careful. The other one is, oh my God, I love the culture, I love the buildings, but people are hungry. They perform, as I said, they perform the shows, music, dancing in the middle of the 100 different areas in one square. They play different things. So I was walking, come on, watch. I went there, and they start talking that we need money and so on. They start talking money and so on. Then they start singing. The guy sing beautiful, nice, and so on. So after that, I got bored. I left. In the middle of all this population, all this crowd, the guy jumped and said, "Oh, where are you going? Come and give me money. Come and give me money." I said, "What?" I was everywhere sitting there, and I tried to take picture. One guy came and said, "Give me $1." I said, "Why?" He said, "You took my picture." I said, "I didn't take your picture. There are 1,000 people." He said, "I was in your picture." I said, "No, I'm going to delete that picture. If I'm going to pay $1 for anybody in my picture, there are thousands of people in the picture." So that's crazy. This is the second worst as far as the ripping you off. Be careful. If you want to go, be careful. And Turkish in Morocco, be careful. And I understand other businesses everywhere, as soon as they know you are tourist, they want more money from you because you are tourist, and they think you are coming from Europe with euro or America with dollars, so your money worth a lot. So I understand that, but I don't feel good, because if they want to treat me differently than other people, I don't feel good personally. So I try to avoid that. Any other questions?
We need to have another meeting for your special adventure.
I mean, I could talk, not just speak, is show and give you different inside information as far as the people, as far as the food, as far as the way that they do business with you, especially if you are not from their country, as far as culture, as far as politics and so on. But that was a good experience and so on. Any questions? Okay, then thank you. And this is the place that I was talking about, the Adolf Hitler house and meeting rooms. And this is, unfortunately, at that day was cloudy and rainy. I couldn't get a good picture here, but this is the longest wall in Europe. And this is okay. If there's no question, and this is my taxi.
Marty, 有没有 Marty, 有没有
I think this was very
Oh,
brave.
that's the
of-
video. I don't know if you want to hear it or not, but Sorry. Okay.
And I agree with Betty. I think that you should do multiple speeches. And one of them, you should say 11 countries for $9, something like that, so that people understand, because that was a really good rate that you got. And I wonder how it is that the taxis can be so inexpensive when gas is so expensive.
Over there in some other countries such as Morocco or Azerbaijan and so on, the rate of the gasoline is not the same as here or Europe. The Europe is very, very expensive. Always is not just this time, is about 2 times more.
Yeah.
And food, that's the reason I said for each one I can talk about it. For example, in Switzerland, it's so expensive. Forget about gas. Every place I went and tried McDonald's or Burger King or Kentucky Fried Chicken because it reminds me of home, and also I know what I'm eating.
Yeah.
And price is reasonable. Okay, so price here for Big Mac is what, $6, $7, and so on, something like that. If I have not eaten today, but 3-4 months ago was like that. And also sometimes I get a coupon. You get one, you get one free, and 50. Even there is a Burger King next to my house. It says 2 Whopper for what, $5, no, $10,
Yeah.
$5, something like that. In Europe is a little bit more expensive, I understand. But if you go to Switzerland, I went to a Burger King and get a Whopper. Of course, I didn't pay for it. My cousin paid for it. Do you know how much? $22. $22. I said, I don't want to eat Burger King anymore. Very, very expensive. Very expensive. There are many things. As I said, I can talk about one culture. For example, here, you go to McDonald's, you go to restaurant. In many of those cities and countries, you have to pay to go to the restaurant. €1, $1. Here, I go to McDonald's, Burger King, I grab this much ketchup, mayonnaise, and so on. Over there, you have to pay for each one like 40 cents. Okay, so these are the big differences from there. Toilet, every places they charge you in Europe or so, €1. In Switzerland, if you want to go and pee, €2. So those are some small things that makes a big difference. So it's just an overview of what I have done. But as you said, I wish we had more people that they could see. I could talk about different cultures, different way of treating you, prices, food, sightseeing, and politics, and everything else. But yes, this is a summary of overview that what I have done. That was very good experience and adventure, really. I don't recommend for anybody does this.
It was great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Robin, you want to do the round robin real quick for 1 minute or 2 minutes?
Sure. Well, the only thing that I would recommend is presentation mode. I know why you had it open, because you weren't going to show us every slide, but I really like being able to see the full picture on the full screen. And I also would encourage you, the comments that you made at the end where you were talking about going to McDonald's or Burger King every place, or Kentucky Fried Chicken because you recognize them. It might be interesting to say, okay, Kentucky Fried Chicken in Germany was like this. Kentucky Fried Chicken in Morocco was like this. Kentucky Fried Chicken in Azerbaijan was like this, so that you can see the comparison with something that people are familiar with. Then you can illustrate the differences better that way. But I think you have a very engaging way of speaking, and your enthusiasm for the topic comes through, and it makes your listeners enthusiastic because you're obviously pleased with what you did and you had a good experience. So it makes something like 40 days and 20 countries, which seems unbelievable to me. It makes it seem possible because you're so optimistic and there's so much good energy from your speaking. That's all that I would say. Betty, what would you say?
Yes. I like to see you put the whole mapping where you go. Also, I would like to see you put several pictures for each country, then make everybody more interesting. We'll see what you like in the future. And also, if you have different adventure, maybe you can have a special topic to talk about it. Just like when you talk about the taxi, made me remind in May, we went to Europe, almost got accident. We take the Uber because my husband opened the door and then behind the car just almost hit the car, but the car is okay. God, so scared, right? So still need to be very careful. This is a very big topic. Maybe you can create a topic, the adventure, how to prevent get cheating or get, this kind of topic, right? Need to be careful. I know you are a man, you can travel you alone, but women, I don't think they can travel alone. But this is a topic maybe to let us know, we will know, understand how people think, how they try to get your money. So need to prevent in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for those comments, Betty. I'm going to turn the meeting back to you now as the leader so that you can close us out.
Thank you, everybody. Cooperate to have this meeting work because, like, I plan to have a Maggie to be a Toastmaster, and she cannot do that. But I told her we cannot cancel the meeting. That's why even we have 3 people, we still need to have meeting, right? So we have more people later. If you keep going this way, people will understand. Oh, the meeting is coming. We will have meeting. That's why they won't try to not to come. They will come on time, and then we will keep going. This is my thinking. So my challenge, just like Marty, you said, in the future, if there's nobody have a speech, I'll try to make speech myself. Now I'm in the level 3 of to go to the 5 and 5 is kind of hard. Take time to write the speech. I will try to overcome this way. Thank you so much. And let's finish the meeting. Anybody have any comment right now? If not, maybe we would like to hear Barman have another speech in the future. Maybe not next meeting, but maybe in the future, you can organize better and more interest. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody? Okay, thank you. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.
We'll have a great
Bye.
few weeks. See you
Thank
later.
you. Bye-bye.
You too.
See you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.